Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with yet another pinball repair video for you this evening. I guess I should say another cool pinball repair video for you this evening. We've been working on this SuperSonic for forever. And we've got some stuff left to do. So we did a whole bunch of videos on the playfield. Finally got it doing its thing, but we haven't actually played it. We repainted a bunch of it. If you didn't see all those videos, check it out. We had to order a few parts. Basically, our flippers need work. The drop targets clearly need work. And the pop bumpers need work. What's going on with this? So I think the first thing we'll do is put in the new pop bumper caps. We ordered some stuff from Marco Specialties. It came in, and so we'll check that out. So it looks like at one point one of the caps must have burnt up or something in this, so they ordered one for it, but they ordered the wrong one. That's not how it's supposed to look. If you look on the flyer, they're all like this. So I could have just ordered the one, because the other two are perfectly fine, but then they look worn, you know? I wish I had one more worn one. I looked all over, I couldn't find it though. But you know what? I've got an extra worn one now. I've got two extra worn ones. So I'll just swap this out and save these two, and down the road I'll probably end up with a machine that might need one or something. But we got to put three of them on. I honestly think the old ones look better. The new ones are just so bright that you can kind of tell that they're brand new. I don't like that. The same reason I left these up here. They're not broke. I'd like to keep them, but to each his own. So I'll swap those three out. I've got it in lamp test just to make sure they're all working before we lock the bulb up inside the cap. Much nicer. They look great. Okay, so I've got the light test on. All of the lights are working except for that one. The left special has been giving us problems. And if you didn't watch the earlier videos, this thing had all of the boards fried in it. Every one of them didn't work. And we did a repair on every one of them, except for one. And we did the lamp board, but I didn't get that bulb working. So I've tinkered with the socket, I've put the bulb in it and everything. But it's definitely something either on the connector or the board or something. So that's what we're going to figure out next, that one stray light bulb. So like I said, I've already messed with the socket and swapped the bulb and everything. I know it's not that. You can actually check the voltage on the socket and see if you've got voltage there. You can check back the voltage on the pin, see if you've got voltage there. And you could do this on the lamps. You don't really want to do it on the displays. But while the game is on, you can kind of manipulate one wire. Like I'm pulling one wire in and out. That'll kind of, like if you track down the actual bulb wire, you can kind of fiddle with it, and it'll kind of tell you if it's the connector. Typically, I usually don't have a ton of problems with the connector on the lamp board. Now, you have a ton of problems with the connector on the power board because of the battery damage over there. You see, we've actually replaced that one. But I kind of already knew what the problem was. If you look on the schematics, the transistor that runs that bulb is Q46. It's called the left out lane on the schematic. And we did an entire video where we messed with this board and got all the lamps working. Well, on that video, we ended up having to replace two of the decoder chips, which are MC14514 chips. You can see the date code there is the 21st week of 1979. So, I mean, these things are ancient. Ancient. So two of them we had already replaced, and this is why. So this third one here, look at the rust on it. Right. So I had already made a list of all of them, and I'd already replaced that Q46 and everything. And then we replaced these two, and we got every bulb back except for that one bulb, and sure enough, it was the decoder chip. So one of the lines on the decoder chip, just enough to make it where you can't leave it, one line was bad. And it's just it's a rust thing. Whenever you see surfaced rust like this on a chip, Look, that's pretty bad. So when you see that, it's likely inside of the casing too. The metal, as it, you know, that leg just goes inside here and, you know, creates a pattern where it's connected to other things. But you've probably got that same rust inside. It creeps in. And apparently that was the deal. So I swapped in a third decoder chip. And this board didn't have any battery damage on it. The battery sits right here. And so a lot of times it will outgas or leak all over this part of the board and screw it up. This board was really clean if you watch that video. But we had tons of lamps out because of this chip, tons of lamp out because of this chip, and then only one that was controlled by this chip. So I thought, oh, hopefully it's just the transistor. I swapped it twice just to make sure, but that wasn't it. So now we have every lamp on the game working. I'm very happy about that. Let me make sure I didn't mess any of them up on the back box. Sometimes whenever you swap, look at this. I didn't swap that bulb yet, though. I hope it's that. If it's not that, I'm gonna be so angry if it's not the. Oh man, I hope it's that. Ah, it's just the bulb. And this one too. That one was. It's just the bulb. There wasn't like there wasn't like the board that caught on fire. It was the bulb. It's just the bulb. No big deal. They come right out. You put in. It's no problem. So we got it. All the bulbs. Whew. Whew, all the bulbs are working. It's great. I love it. All right. Well, it may seem like I'm jumping around, but actually I'm not. And the green ones are working, folks. You just can't see them that good. Don't worry about it. It's working. You just can't see it that good. It may seem like I'm jumping around a little bit, but I'm not. I'm trying to do everything on the playfield. So next up are these drop targets. They look like someone that needs dental work, right? What in the hell? I think one's missing, and at least one's broke. It's broke. Joe's not here to tell us that. So we need to figure out how we can slide some new drop targets in there. I ordered some brand new ones, so it'll look nice and snazzy. But we got to get the old ones out first. So, yeah, it's a mess. So one of them is missing, and the spring is missing that holds it on. This one's there, but it's just a blank one. It's supposed to be a little bullseye. This one's there, but it says 2x. It's not supposed to say 2x. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be a bullseye, people. This one's there, but it's clearly a kapow, and you don't want the kapow. You want the bullseye, and I don't think it's broke. Well, yeah, it's broke. I was about to say I think it's just unhooked, but the reason it's unhooked is because it's broke. So the kapow went kaput. And then this one's there. And it is a bullseye. So this is maybe one of the original ones. It's that bottom one. So that tells you right there that that bottom one must be hard as hell to hit. So we're going to have a problem hitting that bottom one for show. You can see all the pretty bulbs working. So you can do this actually while it's mounted in the game. So first thing I'm going to do is take these screws off. So there's 4 screws on this little bottom plate. Alright, so once you do that, you can pull this plunger actually all the way out. Just don't forget to put it back in there when you put that plate back on. And let's see if these are going to cooperate enough. Probably not. Yeah, so the issue is the target. Yeah, it's kind of hard to show. It's kind of catching on that lip up at the top because it has to go out through the top. So you can't pull it down through the bottom of the machine after you take it loose. There's just not enough room to maneuver this out of that and get it all out. So the way you fix that is you take this back plate loose. You don't have to take it all the way off, but you got to loosen it up. And you really shouldn't do that with the lights on. So what I want to do is there's a screw here and a screw here. And if I take just those 2 loose, this plate will move a little bit to where I can finagle it out. Alright, so with those 2 loose, I can move it enough to where these will pop loose. And I hate this crap. Look at this. At some point, they removed that drop target, or it broke, and then they took the little bolt off that I need and lost it. Why would you not just put it right back where you got it? What are you doing, people? They're parting them out, and I'm parting them back in. It's just craziness to me. What are they doing? Did they really need that damn bolt? Come on. Come on now. Drives me crazy. Luckily, I have parts where other people have parted them out. I didn't part them out, all right? Other people parted them out. I just ended up with them. All right, so I was able to find a replacement one, and I actually keep the springs in new. You can order those little things I'm talking about new too, but come on, people. What are they doing? It didn't break. There ain't no way it broke. I'm going to stop. Look how the new drop targets bend. They're very bendy. I think they do that so that they don't snap as easy. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so now it's just the matter of lining up each one with its spring and putting the little bolt back in it and sliding it into where it goes. And then you have to line that lever up with the little slot in the plate, because that's what hits the switch on the back. And just put it all back together. So this is why I hate reproduction stuff. I would much rather just use the original stuff if I can do it. But on drop targets you can't. So you have to get reproductions. And yeah. Alright, so the next thing we need to figure out is what to do about the flippers. This one is actually fine. Needs cleaned up a little better, and it's a little faded. But this one's all cracked up. So we got to do something about that. And then the flippers may need work or something. We have never flipped them, I don't believe. I don't think we've tested any of the solenoids anywhere on the playfield. So let me see if I've got a similarly yellowed flipper bat, or if I've got two new flipper bats. Flipper shoes, I guess. So that's next. All right, I didn't have new ones, but I did find a used one that looks exactly like the one on the right. I wish my drop targets looked like... Look, I'm trying to get over it, folks. I'm just trying to get over it. All right, so next thing to get over is... I didn't even notice this at first. One of our astute commenters pointed it out. These cheaters have cheated with this gate thing here. Look how they cheat. They put it behind the nail to cheat. I wonder if the nail will easily come out. Not really. Well, how do we want to do it? I guess we'll just take the post out. Oh, nope, never mind. I think I can just kind of hop it. Oh, I jumped the border. There we go. Okay, we'll have to watch and see if that actually works. We probably need to oil it. There's a little, let me show you the little thing under it that runs it. So there's this little bit of genius. It's just a coil that can pull in, and when it pulls in, it will open the gate. And so the way they do it is when it pulls in, it moves that little bar there. So the problem that you end up with on these is that this spring is what pulls it back out. And so if you get any kind of dirt or wear or anything on this, it does this. It sticks in, and then it stays like that. Whenever it lets go, like right now, it is not electrically pulled in because the power's off. The gate's stuck open. And not in the cheating way with the nail. So a little bit of oil should fix that for us. Or you know what? It's in a nylon bushing, a nylon sleeve. I wonder if gravity has anything to do with it. We've got the playfield upside down right now. Yeah, part of it is, yeah, it's your gravity. Maybe not. I don't know. It might be gravity, folks. We'll see. We'll watch that. We need that gate to close reliably. Now, the flippers, I have cleaned the end of stroke switches. I don't know if we need new flipper plungers yet, but we'll try it a little bit and see. That's coming up. All right, while we're in here, we didn't replace this yet either, the shooter tip. So we'll go ahead and put a new one of those on, and then we'll see what other trouble we can get into. Much better. Now, another thing that is a problem is this. A lot of times if something breaks, you'll actually find it in the machine, because, I mean, where else is it going to go? So what is this? This is the little kicker thing for the... It's the kicker thing for the kickers. So when the ball hits that ring, it closes one of those two sets of switches, either that one or that one. And then the computer tells it to kick the spring. And so there's a little metal blade that comes forward and it hits the spring, and you can see that plastic piece there. The one on this side is missing. Because I have it in my hand, it fell down inside the cabinet. So what do you do about that? Well, we got to fix it. We're not going to leave it like... Come on, people. We're not going to leave it like that. Come on now. All right, so I think the easiest way to do it would be... Well, damn. Well, we're going to do it from the top. Let's do it from the top. All right, so I took off the shield, the things in the ring, and you can see the problem. It's gone. It was supposed to be like that. But the problem with replacing it is that little pin you have to get out. So I don't know if I can do that while it's in the game or not, but we'll try. So I'm just going to try to grab it with a pair of pliers and see if I can pull it out. What do you think about that? Keep in mind I've got a whole bunch of these as spare parts if I end up mauling it. Alright, so using a pair of pliers. Let's see if these are the Chinese ones. Yep, the Chinese ones got the job done. Using a pair of pliers, I just kind of grabbed it a little bit, you know, a little crooked, and pushed it to the end, and then was able to just pull it out. So, the little actual piece here, I've got a whole bunch of these new old stock that I got somewhere. I may have got these from Shane. If Shane's watching, thanks Shane! Can't remember. So they're all very similar, so you just pop one on. I wonder if it's exact. It does look pretty exact. What do you think? Alright, so now I got to try to put the pin back in, which ought to be easier because you could just beat on it, right? I mean, I could just... I'll see what I can do. Alright, so I actually was able to just squeeze the pin back in there with the pliers. So you can do that by hand with a pair of pliers if you're patient. Alright, let me put it back together. One last thing. Alright, so we got that back together. I think it's all good. This one over here is kind of bent. You know, and they do that a lot, but this one's a little excessive. So I'm going to pop it off and show you how you can fix that real easy. Alright, so it is all puffed up. I've got a heat gun. Now as the heat hits it, it'll actually get worse a little bit. And I'm moving the gun around. You don't want to be in one spot too long. And when you see it start kind of relaxing a little bit, you're about done. You don't have to go, you don't have to make it all the way flat. Right now, see how it's starting to move down a little? Okay, there we go. See how it started moving down a little bit? Since I'm doing it with one hand, it might not have been quick enough. Alright, so you want to put it on a piece of paper, white paper, just because it's smooth. Like if I do it on this desk, you'll get like a pattern in it. And then you just want to put like a heavy book or something on top of it. I've done it before where I use glass out on our showcase. So you can do that on the piece of glass and then just drop a heavy piece of glass on top of it to hold it in place. I just happen to have this book sitting here though. Check out this sweet book. So it's the, we're letting it cool off a little bit right now. We'll see if that was enough or if we need to do it again. It's the National Association of Watch and Clock Collectors Bulletin. So like each month they put out like a little magazine. And you can buy these, they're reprints. But this particular one is kind of cool because it's actually the actual issues bound in a book. So you can see it's got all the covers and everything in there. Instead of just being a reprint in a book. So anyway, you don't have to leave it long because it's just cooling off. Let's see if that made it flat or if we need to hit it some more. It kind of looks like it's still puffed up a little bit, doesn't it? Well, it's certainly much better. I'll do it again. I probably should have done it on the paper in the first place so I didn't have to waste that time putting a piece of paper down. If you wait for it to go all the way flat though, you're going to end up scorching it a little bit. The edges will get screwed up. So it's getting there now. Oh yeah, now she's getting there. Alright, so I think that will get it, and we'll put it back on the machine after it cools off for a few minutes, and that'll fix that problem. On to whatever the next problem is. Alright, so it looks a lot better. Flattened it out. If you let the light hit it, you can see a little bit how it will damage it a little bit if you have to do that. See how down on this end, right and through there, it's got a little bit of a texture to it. Right, but it looks a lot better than it did, so I'm cool with that. Okay, so we are ready to check the solenoids. We have not done that yet. I'm a little worried about it because if you didn't watch the earlier versions of this video, there was a short on the MPU and it shorted out every board in the game, and it was the 43 volt was shorted to the 5 volt. By the way, the displays are not actually doing that. It just looks like it on the camera. So I'm going to go into test. Test number 2 is the solenoid test. It's going to cycle through them all, and we'll just see if any of them work. The fuse on the playfield may be blown too. Lights. Displays. Actually, that's number 2. So none of the solenoids are working, except for the knocker, which is nuts, and you're going to hear the flipper relay in the back. See that? Whew, that knocker's crazy. Whew, Lord, that's crazy. All right, so why would everything on the playfield not be working? I just remembered what the problem was, but I'll just show you on the schematics. I hit the flipper button, and the flippers didn't work either, which is a dead sign that there's something wrong in the back box, because if you look, this is actually your voltage and the flippers are not fused. The fuse for the flippers is essentially the fuse in the power supply. So if they're not working, that means that you don't have your 43 volts on the playfield for some reason. There is a fuse on the playfield, so after the voltage comes up and feeds the flippers, this is the ground of the flippers. Right? It moves on and goes to the out hole, and then the left, the right bumper, the saucer, the right slingshot, the left slingshot, the bottom bumper, the gate relay and the drop target reset coil. So we don't have power here. Usually it's this fuse, but in this instance we don't have it here either. I don't think I ever plugged the solenoids back in because we were, like I said, I was a little worried about it, so I've kind of been afraid to run it. The flipper enable relay is on the solenoid board, so it doesn't need any kind of wiring going to it other than the voltage that's running the game. And then the knocker, I believe, is plugged in on the same connector that the test button is plugged into. So I plugged in that one because I needed it for the test button. Yeah, so here's the test switch. It plugs into, on the back box, A4J31. So that's A4 is the MPU. And then the return, or the ground of the test switch, plugs into A3J27. A3J27 is the solenoid board, which is, so that same A3J2 is the same one that the flipper switches and the knocker and the speaker. No, not the speaker. And the knocker and a couple things plug into. So I've already got that plugged in because I knew I needed to plug it in to get the test switch to work. So I think if we open the back box, it's just, that board's just going to have everything unplugged from it. Sure enough. Well, that makes it easy. Two of the connectors were off. All right. Coming soon. Okay, so that means that now we have power on the playfield, or we should. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on, and we need to watch this thing and make sure nothing shorts on. We don't have a coil stuck, a switch stuck. We don't have a problem. So I'm going to turn it on and then turn it right back off if anything locks on. Okay, we should be good. All right. So let's try again what we were doing. Test 1, test 2, here we go. Remember, the knocker's very loud. Still nothing. I'll show you the flipper enable relay. Okay, so what is the problem? Well, we can tell if it's the playfield fuse by whether or not the flippers work. We may have just blown a fuse. No? Got it. Okay, so we got flipper issues. We'll have to figure out what's going on with that. Ooh, did I mess up with the... No, I did not. I can only go on that one. Okay. Yeah, so we got some kind of issue on the playfield. Let's see if we can figure it out. All right, so the power is turned off. Now, here is that fuse. She's blown. But why aren't the flippers working? Well, sometimes you've got a bad solder joint on the actual flipper coil. It's actually very common. If you saw how in the schematics, the first thing that the power does is it comes up to the flippers. So if you have a really bad solder joint on the flippers, and these don't look great, to be honest, that could be the problem. It could be that you've got really dirty end of stroke switches, and it could be that you've got really dirty cabinet switches, which I think that might be the issue. Like, can voltage get through there enough to pull in a coil? Maybe not. So I'm going to clean those up with a file. We're going to replace the fuse. I'll look on the schematics to see what it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be a 1 amp. And we'll try it again. So there's the knocker. Yeah, these were filthy, so I think that might have been it. I put the fuse back in. Let's try it again. So same thing, we're checking to see if anything catches on. If you catch it quick enough, it won't mess up your board. You won't even blow the fuse if you catch it quick enough. So as you're turning on, this is on an unknown game, you know. As you turn it on, just see if anything locks on immediately. It'll do it as soon as you can put power on it. And if it does, turn it right back off. It's actually kind of scary whenever you, whenever you see that, because it's so violent. Okay, now that it was supposed to do. It was doing that at the end of the boot up, and it probably would have played some music. And I think we just showed that the coils must be working now. Okay, so let's go back into the test and just see if it works through it. Sometimes you'll have an issue where the coils are working except for one of them, and whenever it fires, it blows the fuse. I just like to be, you know, this is an unknown game. I just like to go through it systematically where you know every little thing about it. You know all the little quirks. You find everything is hiding from you. Okay, here we go. And again, the knocker will be even louder this time. We're good. Got to test the flippers though. Oh, you know what's going on? Who can tell me what the problem is? Here, I'll show you the problem. Right flipper. All right. Left flipper. The flipper relay has to be on for the flippers to work. Come on, Ronnie. Come on. Come on. You should have known that. Now, why were you trying to hit the flipper button with a flipper relay? Well, come on now. You know the flipper relay's got to be on for that. Come on now, Ronnie. Come on now. The flipper relay's got to be on. Come on now. That's not how it's supposed to be. You know the flipper relay has to be on. Come on now. You gotta have the flipper relay on. All right, we're in number 4, I think, which I think is the sound test. All right, so we're in switch test. So we're just going to check all the switches. Right out lane, right in lane. Left in lane, left out lane. Now you'll notice the left in lane and the right out lane are the same switch. Why not, folks? Why not recycle switches? Okay, bottom target, middle target, top target. Okay, spinner. Okay, bottom pop bumper, right pop bumper, left pop bumper, rollovers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top rollovers, 5, 4, 2, 5, 3. 3 bonus advance rollover. I said 3 bonus advance rollover. That one's gonna need a little work. Saucer, this is always fun because it wants to bite me. Oh, don't bite me. Okay, it worked. What else do we have here? The slings, I don't know that it will do those. I mean, clearly they're working. 32. 26, okay. Oh, there's rollovers in the middle too. These rollovers are, you got to get them just right. So 1 is not working. 2 is not working. 3 is not working. 4 is working. 5 is working. So 1, 2, 3, and the top one. Okay, and then the center target. It's working. All right, so now we got to do drop targets. These are a little tricky because once the target goes down, that number just stays on, so you can't tell, you know. So this is the bottom one. 1. So the next one. Yeah, so see the 1 is stuck, so I got to bring it back up. All right, so now that it's back up, 2 is down and it can tell. So if I drop 3, it won't do anything because 2's down, and I want you to know 2's down. This is primitive stuff, folks. If you think this is primitive, by the way, you should see what Gottlieb and Williams were doing at the time with their test menus. Okay, there's 3. We'll just drop all of them. Oh, let's do the one behind it too. It's not going to work because I got 3 down. This is that great action you want in my videos. 4 works. Come on, you ugly little horrible reproduction drop target. Okay, 5 works. So all the drop targets work. Shockingly. Even though they're pale, pun intended, imitations of the originals. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. So let's see if the little rubber behind it works. Yes, 13. Okay, so the only thing that's not working are 1, 2, and 3, and that. So we'll look at those real quick. All right, so they were all actually adjusted fine. They just weren't clean enough. So the little white star pushes down on the switch and makes it touch the other switch. Very simple. About as simple as the switch can get. See how it's moving? So all you want is the big blade to move the little blade a little bit. That's good enough. Okay, so all the switches are working. All the solenoids are working. I guess we can actually play it. Yeah, we can actually play it. Holy moly. Okay, folks. So I'm going to show you an undeniable truth about pinball. So here we go. Let's see if she'll fire up. So reset our drop targets and kick the ball out. Flippers are working. The left kicker, it seemed like, kicked a little bit. I don't know why that would have been, but flippers are nice and strong. That left kicker kicked on its own there for a second, though. Sometimes the pop bumpers actually do that. I had that happen on a previous game. We were just talking about that on a previous video. All right, so the undeniable truth of pinball is they freaking suck with no sound. And it is not fun. The sound really adds a lot. So it should be going. Bing, bing, ding, 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 doo 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 doo. Bing, boom. Doodle doo doo doo. Doo 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 doo. Doo doo doo. Watch the left kicker. It might pop on its own when the pop bumpers hit. I've seen that happen before. We just won a bunch of points, you know. Oh, I'm probably racking them up. But I don't have any way of knowing because the sound doesn't work. All right, let's see if we can get the kicker to trip. No, that's just been a fluke. There is a thing on the classic Bally's, some of them, sometimes when the ball's hitting, on the early ones like this one, sometimes when the ball's hitting the pop bumpers, the left kicker will kick. It has something to, I can't remember, we figured that out on a video one time. And I found a bunch of people online mentioning it. Oh, you see the little lane gate shut on its own? Very cool. Give me them points. Of course, we can't tell that we're getting points because the sound's not working. So I also need to add a battery to the display, to the MPU, and I've got something weird going on with the first display. It's not right. I'm not sure why that is, but I think it was right before. Maybe we'll figure that out. So we still got a little bit of work to do, but the next video will be all about the soundboard. So we will do that next time. Hope you've enjoyed it so far. Check out my display. One of them's tripping. So we're just test playing it, right? Obviously we need sound. We've got a digit screwing up on the display. Everything else seems to be fine. The left kicker kicked one time. I thought that was going to be an issue, but it stopped. There's still a little bit of cosmetic stuff to mess with. And we got a pretty decent looking little machine here, I think. So I hope you've enjoyed it. We will see you on the next video where we will work on the soundboard. Now, if you love these early Ballys, you know who I've been thinking about a lot lately for some reason? And the reason is because of Jonathan. Jonathan keeps sending me weird reels and memes on Facebook. And he sent me a Evel Knievel reel. So I've been thinking about old Evil lately. I'll put the video up here of the time that we got to work on the wonderful Evel Knievel pinball machine. One of my favorite back glasses. You know, Evil, he jumped a dirt bike. A bike. It wasn't a dirt bike. It was a Harley. So when he jumped, the back of the Harley was so heavy that it like dragged behind him. So when most guys do those stunts and jumps, their bike does this, right? And then whenever they land like this. Not Evil. When Evil jumped, it was so damn heavy, the back of it did this. And so he did this through the air, right? It's just beautiful. A moment in time. We will never see somebody that damn dumb anymore, right? But the Evel Knievel pinball machine was one of the best ever. So if I've hyped you up enough, check out this video.